Hi, I am Dr. Kate Rodriguez. Welcome to the Overachieving Shit Show. I am your host. And as a quick disclaimer, I am a therapist. So is my guest, Dr. Taylor, here. And we are not your therapist, at least not right now. So this is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. I will also warn you that this is my first live episode with a real guest in person, and we have no outline. So I apologize for anything that we say. But
Wherever
you're
that
about
ADHD road takes us.
we're just gonna see where it goes and see where it takes us. So thank you for being here. Well, thank you, Taylor.
Thank you.
I know you wanted to be the first guest, and our cohort member beat you.
She does that a lot, you know?
So, a little background. I'm going to start with how we met because I do believe that how we met defines Overachieving Shit Show. And I do feel that this was the beginning of where it all started.
Okay.
So, we were in the same cohort. When did we start?
2011, August 2011.
It was when we started the PhD process. And I knew we were going to be friends when I realized sitting next to you that you had fake eyelashes on.
I almost wore them today just for old time's sake.
And I was like, did you go out last night? And you were like, no, I've been bartending. And you were bartending your way through the PhD process.
But I was so scared to tell anyone I was bartending because I was afraid at that particular year that it was a non-judgment free zone of like you're staying up late and out late and doing bad things and we are purists and counselors.
Yeah, and I think we recognized the shit show in each other.
Yep. But I was afraid to sit next to you.
I know where this is going.
So our cohort started out with 14. By the time we graduated, we looked around the room and realized everybody that ever sat next to Kate dropped.
This is true. Only 6 people graduated.
Man, I was afraid to sit next to you.
And it was like one here, then one here, then the
I
next
scooted
one
down,
over.
and then I scooted down.
But there was a moment where you decided, like, I don't care. I'm not going to drop, and I'm going to sit next to you.
You can't draw. You're already halfway through a program, you know?
Yeah.
You made it through one semester, you might as well finish.
But what would you say it was that the mentality that helped you get through the program? And I say this because a lot of the PhD students lately have been burning out, and I've seen a lot like take it really serious and sometimes not finishing or getting burnt out before they even graduate. And how
it was a few different things, right? If anything was a single answer, there'd be a playbook for it. For me, it was a few things. It was having a plan, knowing what the end goal was, seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, but also having the balance of B's get degrees. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to do every presentation. I don't have to.
B's? I thought we said C's.
I think it's B's and 2 C's get degrees in a PhD.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, B's and 2 C's. You're right.
Yeah.
3 C's and you're out.
That's right. I got my second.
We got real close.
Dr. Holtz.
Dr. Smith, please. But yeah, I think there's a lot to that. And I think that that's kind of a reason both of us can keep getting stuff done is because, what'd you say, the 70% rule?
Yeah. So I have this theory of 70%. And I know I read it for someone. I didn't make it up myself, but I can't quote who it was. But
I never can.
We want to aim for 70%. 70% is something that you turn in 70%, especially as an adult in the workplace. People can edit, people can fine tune, people can alter that piece of work that you've done. When you're going to the gym, the people that are 100%ers, like those are the people you walk in and you're like, you're done. Why are you still here? The people that diet 100%, they're eating grains and granola and you're like, okay, that's 100%. My goal is 70. Anything I'm doing at any point in time, I don't need 100%. I need 70.
I like that. I think that really does sum up like why we were able to finish and other people maybe weren't, because we didn't aim for perfection. We were like, how far, like, what do we need to do to pass? Sometimes it's going to be amazing. Sometimes it's going to be mediocre, but we're going to get it
And
done.
we're taught in school from, like, kindergarten, 100 is the goal. Is that realistic in real life? To do everything at 100%? Mm.
And I'm not saying like, hey, half-ass everything,
No, no, no.
but to be such an overachiever to a point where you can maintain your sanity.
Right. It's like, you and I were talking earlier of, just one more thing, and, like, when you add a pea to your plate, it's not much, but when you have that same plate every week and you keep adding peas to the plate, the plate's full of peas. You're done, and you have no peace.
Oh,
Huh?
I like that.
Oh
I
my
see what
god.
you did there. Good for you. No, but I also think that it's important because you heard our other cohort member, Diane. She talked at one point about how pissed off she was one time when we had a big paper due. I don't know if you remember this. And everyone stayed up all night. And I walked in and the way she said it was like I had makeup on and she was like, everyone could tell you slept. You were the only one who slept. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with her? Like, why did she sleep? And I was like, hey, I might get a B, but like I got sleep. Like I can't function without sleep. And that's always been my non-negotiable.
It's so funny because I remember staying up at the late night coffee shop nights with you and Freddie, and
And she was not
granted, we were at different phases in our life, and
true.
she had to be home. But it's just, where do you find your balance? And there has to be balance.
Okay, so speaking of the library.
Okay.
Okay, so Bell Library. A lot of traumatic events happen there.
Oh my gosh,
I
best
still
work
can't
I've ever done, and, yeah.
I still
Yeah.
can't eat Subway. I can't stand the smell of Subway because remember when it was connected, so all you could smell was that.
Anytime anybody went in and out,
I couldn't do it. Anyways, but I remember one time, I don't even know what we had do, but me and you were like working on something,
it had to have been research. Research makes me panic.
and you just looked at me and you just stared in my face and you were like, and you just like walked
Right.
off and you just did like a lap around the library and you came back and I was like, was that a panic attack? I was like, what just happened? Like you just looked at me, you couldn't answer whatever I was asking you. Like I was like, "Are you okay?" And you just like walked away.
One of the best things I love about my library experiences is, like, you would go as well, and we would have, like, a cohort typing session, and I think also at the same time as even though it was helpful to set aside this time together, it is utterly frustrating to see your cohort members and you're like, "The," and you're just trying to eke out any thoughts, and then the titter-tatter of other people's keyboards and seeing them being efficient and effective and knowing, "I don't have it today," and then just walking the stacks to get out that anxiety, and then I think, I don't know, but I think after my full panic attack, I got it done, and
You always did.
you were there, like, I don't know, combing my hair and, massaging my shoulders, so to
I
speak.
probably pulled out a flask. I like to drink this. Drink the juice, Shelby.
That's not to be a thing.
um, no, but then I also remember like different times, like how, I mean, like I remember I was like, we're all just going through so many, he said, phases of life. You know, we had Freddie who was super into working out and
Nutrition and self-care,
yeah, and supervision. She was into all those things, right?
supervision.
And then, we had Diane who was married and with kids and an accountant.
And I think at that time we were both maybe not single, but single,
Yeah.
and, like, just
I had just started dating my now husband
again,
for the second time. Yes. He still won't come on the show, but I told him I was going to reference him every one until he comes on. So
I
thank
love it.
you.
Bully him into showing up.
He doesn't listen, but um, but yeah, I think that you and I were some of the only ones that were like still having a good time.
And PhDing.
Yeah.
Because there was other single members of our cohort but they were like 100%ing, and I love them for that, and that was not us. So
Yeah.
I think we've had a good balance of fun and getting it done.
Yeah, and I feel like I couldn't have done it without that. And, like, if it was just me, I don't think that I would've
You
I
would have
think
sat next to yourself?
I would've just sat there empty on this whole side of the table. But no, I think that that's kind of the reason why I started this whole podcast was because I want other people to have what we had in a way, recognizing that there is a shit show behind the curtain and you can still get stuff done, but you're not gonna look perfect. Your house might be a mess, like, you might not know where your keys are ever or, like, whatever it is,
What's
like
that
you
line in The Devil Wears Prada? If your personal life is messed up, then it's about time for a promotion. I mean, that follows a 70% rule too. If
absolutely.
you're doing your 100% at work, you're neglecting your home. And if you're doing 100% at home, you're probably neglecting your work. That's right.
Yeah, no, I like that. As an overachieving shit show, you still have a good time, you still have 2 kids, you're still a spouse, all these things.
Hmm.
What is the most amount of jobs you've ever held at one time?
I think that's two full time and two part time jobs.
2 full-time at one time?
Yeah. I think I've always, since I can remember, I've had one or two jobs and sometimes three, sometimes four. If I am not busy, I find something really fun to do. And so I try to keep myself busy so I don't have too much fun because fun gets you in trouble, you know what I mean?
That makes sense. The way I like to think about it sometimes with people like us is it's like having an app, right? Like, you have those apps that are running in the background. And it's like the ones that we want open are like mom, spouse, counselor, but we always have this party girl, traveling shit show,
Traveling shit show. I like it.
right? And I just made it up. So I feel that we're both kind of like a cell phone that has apps open, right? So the apps that you want open are the mom, right? We both have 2 kids.
Yeah.
We both have 2 very small kids, right? So having the mom, the spouse, the job, but it's like you have this app in the background that's still running that you can't close. That's like the party girl or like the traveler, like that traveling shit show is still like in that background and it's still like sometimes tugs at you and sometimes yeah, like, "Hey, book a trip." You should wear a costume.
It's karaoke night.
You should be in a parade.
A themed party? I'm there.
All inclusive. But, right I mean, do you
That's
feel like that? Because that's how
You
I've
are
alwa
speaking my language.
it's almost like
It's
I
very
know
I'm
you.
so diligent and dedicated until there's a psst, and then oh yeah.
Psst, psst, it's a costume contest. Psst, I have a spot for you on the float. Which, by the
Thank
way
you, James and Stella.
thank you, James and Sel, we did
Rest
win
in peace.
what did we get?
Drunk.
No, no, no. In the Bandera we
Boot
had a plaque.
contest. No, we got a costume contest and a boot winner. I think
I heard boob. I was okay, your boot. Yes, because you bedazzled all of our
I think
boots.
Monique was the grand winner.
Oh, that was a different year. I didn't go that year.
Right.
The year I went, it was me, you, and Lauren. That's
Maybe
when
your year was the boo year.
maybe maybe checks. But yes.
Anyways,
But anyway, so how do you deal with that? How do you maintain yourself, but like while still getting all these jobs and parenting and family responsibilities under control?
I don't actually have good advice, right? Again,
I thought you were gonna stop at I don't.
that's actually the
Oh,
answer is that I don't. I do my best. I try to prioritize my family, and sometimes work takes over in certain regards, and I have to ask my mother or my sibling to watch our kids, or because my husband is also working, that sometimes I have to. right? Sometimes we have to sacrifice our family to work. I also have this belief, and I think you can disagree. You're allowed to disagree. But if we
We
had,
disagree on a lot, but it's okay.
we do. I love that about you. Uh, if I were to win the mega millions tomorrow, I wouldn't work the way I work now. I would only family, and I would be a philanthropist or something in the same category as my work, but my home life would look much different than my work life. I work so I can afford to be with my family.
Okay.
So family first, work second, right?
Yeah.
And I love that the company that I work for also feels that way, is family first.
But I just noticed what you said though. You were like, if I won millions or whatever,
What's enough?
you still said you would be working.
No, I just imagined that I would want, if I had millions to give, I would want to fund things that I believe in.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by working. I would not do my day to day.
Yeah. Like it wouldn't be an everyday, but you would
Right.
still be doing something.
Maybe I'd
And
be on a board here and there. Maybe I'd be giving.
oh, okay. So let's go there.
Okay.
You're also the president of Junior League.
I am this year. Yes.
You were like, well, so since I let go of a couple part time jobs and a full time job, and now I just have one full time job and two kids and a husband, I should be president of one of the oldest women organizations in the United States.
Yeah. Well, things just come together. And so I applied to be the president while I was pregnant. And I thought, oh, yeah, one kid, two kids will be just as easy. I was wrong or something. And so I quit a part time job. No big deal. And then this last spring, I have quit a full time job. So I am a one job woman and now the president of this because I think even though it's great to have these illusions that I'm going to be great at all these things at the same time, I don't think all that can be true. And I would have to do something subpar. Subpar meaning under the 70%.
Under the 70, like 69%.
No, like 25 to me is not
Okay.
acceptable, right?
Yeah.
50, that would almost be acceptable. And that's probably what I function at with four jobs. 25 is not acceptable. Something's got to give.
I like it. So you've learned to figure out what to prioritize at different times.
Theoretically, I make it up as I go, though.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, sometimes you give 90, sometimes you give 10.
So, like, how many trips do you have planned right now?
I have 0 trips planned.
What? The tailor I know always has a trip planned.
I hear you. I don't have any trips planned. I have a trip planned to San Antonio, but I have no long-term, like, big things, and you're right, I used to always have these trips planned, and I think the phase of life that I'm in is no.
That's the traveling part of you had to, like, take a rest.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
but she'll come back.
Of course you will.
She's still in here, she's just hiding for a minute, she'll be back.
Okay.
We've already been talking about a trip to the Galapagos, but we're talking 2 years out.
Okay, that's where we were supposed to go this year, but we invaded
You
them
wanna go
for
in 2 years?
I gotta go sometime.
Before they close it on us.
Yeah, we were gonna go this time, but then, we invaded them because of cartel, so we were like, "Well, we should maybe wait."
Love it. Good idea.
Okay, so when it comes to burnout, so 4 jobs, all these things, all these different roles, how can you tell in yourself when it's creeping up?
When I come home from work and immediately when I go to alcohol.
Okay, like when you go straight to the wine?
I need a beer after today.
That
I need the X, Y, or Z to get through the day, to deal with my kids. The thing that I'm going to work for, I'm now trying to deal with.
I
And
think a
that's,
lot of people can relate with that.
yeah, that's the thing I work for is that. And now it's flip flopped. And that's when I'm burnout.
That makes sense. Until you can, like, tell when you start reaching for it.
Yeah, we all look forward to our kids. Granted, they can be annoying.
A lot.
a lot. They can be taxing, they can be burdensome, and also, like, that's the reason we wake up every day now.
Yeah. So this whole podcast started a whole conversation with my kids because there was one episode that I did that was talking about being overstimulated and how we deal with all these traumas all day. And then you get home and it's like, hey, what are we eating for dinner? Hey, what are we doing? Like, who's gonna take me to practice? Who's da da da? And so we named the episode something like, what do you want for dinner? When what do you want for dinner makes you want to cry or something like that. And my son saw it, like saw the title for some because he's trying to get me subscribers. If you're paying attention, I don't know how that works or what that does, but my
Press the like button down below.
my son said I only have 26 subscribers, and it's been steady at a few weeks, and he wants me to have more for some reason. And so he was looking, and he was like, "When I ask you for dinner, it makes you want to cry." And I was like, "Well, I listen to a lot of people and a lot of really sad stories all day, and sometimes I just need time for my mind to rest." And sometimes when I walk into the door and everyone starts asking me questions, it makes me want to scream.
Yeah, it's
And it doesn't mean that I don't wanna make you dinner. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just been a lot in one day.
my husband says that exact same thing in a different way. He says, "How do you listen to people's stories and trauma all day, but then get triggered by your firstborn?"
Your
Like,
firstborn's wild.
well, that's absolutely true. And it's like, I don't know, but it does, right? This is my stability, and they're also wild.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. So how do you separate? How do you set your boundaries when it comes to work? Especially now that you're a one-job woman.
I
Most people say like a one-man woman or something, but
eh,
one-job woman, go for it.
even when I do have multiple jobs, I try to sort of cram it all in to a specific period of time. I have allocated time, and I think I learned this from Lynn's. Uh, I know, right? Yeah. Uh, I learned this from Lynn's of like, allocate this time for this and do it then, and don't let it bleed over into your family time. And I thought, oh, this is really superb stuff, right? You just have to do it. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I don't check my email once I leave here.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I will if I have something I'm waiting for, but
Mm-hmm.
usually I don't. I don't answer my phone. I
Or I
don't
will have
any
pre-planned times over the weekend
yeah,
to do X, Y, and Z. I will have it allocated, dedicated, time constraint as well, because if it bleeds over, it has to wait until Monday.
yeah. W Why do we feel over responsibility has turned into our identity sometimes, and how do we stop that? Or
I think that a lot of times because you are a boss, a supervisor, um, the director, whatever your title is, whether that's of your home or your business, it does fall on you, right? And it's sometimes easier to do it yourself than to delegate. So might as well just do it, then wait for it to get done. And then you have it building up inside. It's not checked off of your internal to do list. Just do it. And so because you do so well at getting it done, stuff continues to pile up.
so that also kinda sounds like your explanation of the responsibility creep.
Yes. That's how
I
the
know that goes with, like,
responsibility
the
creep
whole
happens.
the P thing.
Yeah. Just keep adding. They just right? You are efficient. So, since you're so efficient, here's one little you can do this. It's just one more tiny yeah, I can do that. But if it's a weekly, daily, tiny task, it's not worth it in the long run.
And so I also feel as the overachievers in this area, it's like some people always say, like, when one door closes, another one opens. But I kind of feel that you and I, it's like one door just kind of creaks open and we like kick it through.
Absolutely.
And we're like, all right, I'm ready. I can do this. And then we're like, damn, why did I do this?
that happens all the time. You see that opportunity, like, peek out of you, and you're like, "Yes, this is absolutely I've dreamed of this," right? And you do it, and you're like, "This is not what I dreamed of," right?
Yeah.
But then another door opens, and you're like,
I could do that
"This is
too.
this is why I did this, is to get to this door." And then if you're just in this maze like a rat trying to look for cheese, and then you're like, I want I want out. I don't even want the cheese anymore. I'm done. Get me out."
Why did I come through this door?
Yeah.
This is a scary maze.
I didn't even know it was a maze.
No, I think that totally makes sense because I think both of us, there's been many years where my accountant's like, "Why do you have so many fucking W-2s and
Yes.
1099s?" And I'm like, "Man, I didn't even realize I had 5 jobs this year."
Yeah. And or like you go to pay out like at the doctor's office and they're like, "Just 3 cards?" I'm like, just something will cover it, right?"
Like, I don't know which one I paid this week.
Oh, insurance cards.
I know, I'm just kidding.
But also true. I had my water cut off last month. They sent me a bill, they're like, "You haven't paid your bill in 3 months." I was like, That's why my account was so stacked."
The other day, I kept using a card and they were like, "It's denied." And I was like, "That doesn't make sense. I've been paying it." And then I go into my car and when I got in on the floor was that card. So lost one credit card and I was trying to use the old
And
credit.
they already replaced it.
So I thought I was using like the accurate one, but it
We're
was
going
like,
for 70% here. 70% of our charges go through without fault.
yes,
And then there's 30% that I used the wrong credit card. I forgot to make my payment.
I lost something. I found it again.
It'll get done. It will.
It will get done. Okay, so to wrap up, what kind of advice would you give to the younger generation that maybe the younger counselors who start thinking like us?
This may not be good advice.
That's fine.
All right.
It's
Do it.
unfiltered.
Do it. Overachieve. Try. Do the uncomfortable. When you try and do, that's where you learn. And then you figure out what your balance is. Because my balance is not your balance, and your balance is nobody else's balance. It's that you have to try it on, you have to figure it out, you have to do it. But the doors don't just open, you have to tug at the door handle. So tug and see what happens.
I like that. I think that so many people get scared to take that chance and see what they can handle. We actually had professors that constantly talked about a certain student that published a whole bunch, did all the presentations, taught, counseled, and would still make dinner every night for her family. And we were both like, sounds exhausting. But I mean, I guess we could try some of that. So it was like we try and then we try, and then it's like, oh, I could do all that, but I don't want to.
But do I want
That's
to?
not, I don't want to sacrifice fun.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to have fun.
And my fun is different than your fun. Everybody's definitions of these things is so different that I can't just say, "Oh, as a blanket statement, you should do this," but you should do.
See what you can handle and what your rhythm is because it's going to be different from us and it's going to be different from them. And
And our overachieving when we were 28 was very different than our overachieving at 38. And it's supposed to look like that. We were knocking on doors at 28.
yeah, that's true. We definitely were
And at 38,
surviving.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, the doors were open for us at
Yeah.
38 because we knocked on the doors at 28.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, I think that we covered everything that we wanted to.
Well, we didn't solve the world's problems, but
We're
I
not
think we
gonna.
got close.
Yeah, I think so. So if there's anybody out there who is an overachieving shit show and you want to know if it's okay, yes, 70% is okay. C's and B's get degrees.
B's and two C's.
Okay, so very specific, B's and 2 C's. But, thank you for listening to us, and I hope we helped y'all realize that it's okay if your party girl app or your travel shit show app or whatever it is in the background is still running. It's okay.
You'll get back to that app in a minute. Cancel all the other ones out, make time for that one app.